Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my January book haul. So, if anybody remembers, my goal this year is to read more from on my shelf. So, of course, that was supposed to be twofold. I was supposed to not buy as many books, and I was not to use the library as much. Well, the first fail happened. I think I bought a lot of books on the 31st of December, so it didn't technically count as 2018, but because I got them all this year, they're all here in my one of my hauls. So the other thing is that I was supposed to not use the library, and every hold that I had came in on the same, like within 2 or 3 days of each other. So middle of the month I had to read all my library books, and it was just like, that was not the plan. So now my library stuff is under control. I do have a couple books that I have to go pick one up today. That's right, it's due. That I forgot about in my TBR. But I'm trying not to buy too many books. I'm trying not to use the library quite as much as I was, where I was getting a lot of stuff in and either not reading it or choosing that over books I own that I'm really excited about, and I just kind of was excited about the library books. So I'm trying to be a little bit more selective. Well, again, it's that January did not work. Now, I was kind of proud of myself that I actually read some Kindle books, because I am really bad about buying Kindle books too. So, and I might do a Kindle haul as well, because I bought a lot of books on my Kindle because there was some flash sales or some sales, and I bought quite a bit. So I might do 3 book hauls for January. That is horrible. So first I'm going to do my last day of the month. I don't know what. I was feeling stressed out, I guess, because I decided I had to go to do a doctor's appointment to get a blood test. It was no big deal, and then I, stopped by the bank and deposit money and stuff. And then I'm like, oh, why don't I go stop at that Goodwill that I've never been to, that's a really big one, that's supposed to, to go look at the books there, because I've been to the one that's close to me that's not quite as big. So I thought, well, what the heck, let's go look. Well, of course I found books. So I found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oops, I did find 8 books. And again, I spent a little money that I probably shouldn't have, but I was just stressed out that day. And I admit it, I retail shopped, or retail therapy kind of thing. So anyway, so some of these books are on my wish list. There are books I really want to read. Now, again, one of them is like the 3rd book I have by this author that I haven't read yet, so I need to stop doing that. But I always do that when I go to used bookstores or library sales or something. I always buy more books of an author that I have not tried yet, because it's just, they're cheap, they're here. And then, oh, actually, I take it back. There's 2 of them that I did that on. This is bad. Anyway, so, and then there's a series that I picked up on a whim because I saw it on, I believe, Emily Fox's channel and her raving about it, and I just was like, oh, well, I'll just get it. And now I'm like, what? I was like, buyer's remorse as soon as I walked out the door. So I'll explain that in a minute. So let's just go through the books. Now, the one book I did pick up that is something that I've been thinking about because of, is it Jean's Bookish Thoughts? I don't know. I'll have her link down below. But she talks about a lot of the ancient, like Greek plays and things. And, Sophocles? Is this one is? But this one has the, I can't think of how to say, the words are like in my head. You have to understand, I don't, I memorize words. I don't actually sound out words. So it's, it's Oedipus and Antigone. So all those are in here, and I just thought this was for $2. I mean, I was like, oh, I'll probably read those at some point. I don't think I read these plays. I read some other Greek plays when I was back in college, but these ones, since she's been talking about them, I wanted to read them. So it was a really great copy too. So I thought, well, that could be something I could do with my classics, as I throw in some ancient classics that I hadn't read, and I haven't read any of that stuff since like college. So I also picked up it's a historical fiction to me. The Night Watch by Sarah Waters. Again, this is one of the authors I have now 3 books by her that I haven't read any yet. So I think this is more, this is about the 40s, and it's like I think it's 3 timelines. I think one timeline and they go back and then they go back again, I think, and tell the story about these people. I don't know anything beyond that. I just hear it's good. And again, as I said, it's an author I keep hearing about and I haven't actually read her book. And I have The Little Stranger I'm hoping to get to in the next month or two, if I can get to it. But again, I bought the Night Watch because it was there and it was cheap. Anyway, so now I gotta have it. I also picked up China Rich Girlfriend, which is the second book in this series. I don't even know what we call this series. Crazy Rich Asians is the first book. And I had gotten the third book in a library sale. So now I have all 3. So I'm planning to read Crazy Rich Asians this month. So if I really like it, I have the second and third book ready to go. I don't know why I do that to myself. Another book that I've seen around BookTube quite a bit was Longborn by Joe Baker. I admit it, I'm a Jane Austen fan, and definitely Pride and Prejudice is my favorite. Persuasion is just below that, but I love Pride and Prejudice the most. And it could be because it was the first one I read. I don't know. I really think it's just the storyline, actually. But and when I studied in school a lot, because I did a lot of Austen for some reason. That was one of my focuses. Anyways, the point is that I heard about this, about it being kind of the back scenes of Longborn and from Pride and Prejudice. So I thought it'd be kind of different. I've read some Pride and Prejudice retellings or continuations of the story, and like I read one that I'm still devastated over what they did. They had what happened with Darcy before he met Elizabeth, and it was just like all this back drama, and I'm like, no, I do not need this. And anyway, I DNF'd that book, and I was sad I spent so much money on it too. But I'm hoping this one's different because it's the servants, and it's behind the scenes, kind of those kind of people. So it's kind of newish that way. It's not ruining anything for how I feel about the main characters. Anyway, we'll see. Anyway, I've heard, as I said, several people have mentioned it on their channels, and so I found it really cheap. So, and then I'm going to show the series that I kind of regret buying. But it is a genre that I read, so I just haven't read a whole lot recently. I need to read more now. But that is the Wayward Pines series. I guess the Pines and Wayward and The Last Town. So, and again, I guess they're thrillers. Kind of, I think they're urban fantasies or something. Or maybe they're just thrillers. I actually don't know anymore. I just know that they were, as I said, I saw it on Emily Fox's channel and how she really enjoyed them. Now, I've never read anything by Blake Crouch. I mean, again, as I said, I don't read much YA, so I have not picked up any of his other stuff. But this one sounded interesting enough. And I remember when the show was coming out and I was intrigued by the plot, but I don't watch a lot of television or a lot of series at all. I don't have the attention span to do that. So, anyway, I picked them up because they were all there. So this might have been a little not my best buy. I probably shouldn't have bought those, but it was still, they were there and I bought them, and that was that kind of day. So, and then the last book I bought there is one that I almost bought, not full price, it was on sale at a bookstore, and I wanted to buy it for my dad. So I want to read this and give it to my dad, and it's called Norwegian Wood Chopping, Stacking, and Drying Wood the Scandinavian Way by Lars Mitting. And I still wanted to buy this for my dad for Christmas, but I didn't. I just couldn't get myself to buy it. But it has these people with how to chop wood and like logs, and I don't know. It's just, I'm not sure how it's gonna go. But it was just a joke gift that I want to give my dad. Anyway, so the point is that I figured I found it there and I was shocked. And then it was like priced for $5, and I was kind of on the fence about it. And then they put over the speaker that any blue tags were 50% off that day. Well, it was the only one I had that was a blue tag, so it was only $2.50. So totally worth it. Anyway, so those are the ones I bought the last day of January when I was not in a very good mood, because one of the reasons I was in a bad mood is that one of my hubcaps came off. So now I'm missing a hubcap on my car. My car is 18 years old. I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to find that hubcap, so we'll see what happens. I did find one 3 years ago when I lost another one. This one, I'm not sure if I'm gonna find it. It just looks stupid and I hate that, but I don't know what we're gonna do. So anyway, those are all the used books I bought this this month. Oops, those are the wayward pines on the bottom. Anyway, sorry. I'm not doing good at this. Anyway, I don't know if you guys have read any of these, let me know, or anything you think I should pick up pretty soon. I would like to know. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.